Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla News episode 25. Q2 earnings call for Tesla showed a bright future ahead. Gigafactory 5 was announced. In Europe, green energy beats fossil fuel for the first time ever. GM is talking about a 400-mile EV pickup truck. And we also got a look inside the mystery box at Gigafactory 3. And Jamie Foxx get the Tesla smile. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Let's dive right in. Before we get started, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest Patreons, Marius Savatsky and David Odell. Thank you so much for the support, guys, and let's get into the news. And the news of the week is, of course, Q2 earnings call from Tesla. We already knew about the delivery numbers, but they got a little better, ending up with 90,891 in Q2. And this is not a matter of cause for the electric vehicles to deliver so many cars. Just take a look at Porsche and their Taycan. They are having a slow start with its first electric car, with only 4,480 deliveries during the first half of 2020. Not just Q2, but the half of the year. And the Mercedes EQC has done even worse. It is officially a failure. And that is not this fanboy that is saying that. That comes directly from Daimler's shareholder group that said that the EQC was too late, too expensive, too boring. Ouch! That is a redo, Tesla killer. So Tesla is doing exceptional well in the EV car market right now. And the most important thing, of course, was Tesla ended up being profitable. With $104 million, they are now ready for the S&P 500, which is a much bigger deal than people might think. This is a checkmate kind of moment, but I will make a whole video about this, so stay tuned for that. Tesla also had a positive cash flow with $418 million, which means they have now $8.6 billion in the bank. And as we can see on this chart shared by Tesla in the report, we can see that Tesla is up in sales year over year, and the rest of the car industry is in free fall. Very impressive. And Tesla also announced that Tesla will cut off the standard range model and only sell cars that can do over 300 miles, because that is what people expect from an EV. So now we just have to wait for the rest of the big boys to actually get up to 300 miles of EPA range. And Elon stated that they are also on target of reaching the 500,000 vehicles in 2020. Elon said, "We have the capacity installed to exceed the 500,000 vehicles delivered this year, despite the recent production interruptions. While achieving this goal has become more difficult, delivering 500,000 vehicles in 2020 remain our target." And do you remember this interview from 6 years ago?
I feel fairly comfortable with where things are headed for this quarter.
What can we eventually expect when it comes to ramping up with the Gigafactory in place, the number of Teslas that you push off the assembly line?
Well, I feel comfortable that we'll be able to achieve at least 500,000 cars a year by 2020.
Yeah, Elon gets a lot of shit about him being too optimistic on his prediction, but this one was right on the money, and every short seller back in 2014 did not expect Tesla to be alive in 2020. So yeah, Tesla does deliver on what they promise. Maybe not always on time, but this prediction from 6 years ago is going to be right on target. Tesla's energy business was also profitable, and Tesla quarter-over-quarter solar roof installation almost tripled in Q2, which is a very good sign for the future of Tesla's energy business that is just getting started. And Tesla did actually show us that the rumors has been true about the equipment for the Model Y factory in Shanghai is already being put into place. This is just amazing, the speed at which Tesla is building factories. And they also shared some pictures of the render of the finished Gigafactory Berlin. And speaking of Gigafactory 4 in Berlin, that is also a building that is full steam ahead. It is really taking shape in Germany, as we can see here from YouTube channel Giga Berlin. And Elon has also confirmed that the Gigafactory will make its own battery cell at the Gigafactory. And Tesla has signed a contract with Whale and Sea for a supply of intermediate mix of nickel and refined cobalt produced in New Caledonia. The contract was signed in March 2020. This information was confidential and only negotiators had access to it, reports New Caledonia Business. According to their sources, Tesla would use Caledonian nickel cobalt for its European factory in Berlin-Brandenburg. By purchasing nickel and cobalt in New Caledonia for its electric batteries, Tesla will meet future requirements from the European Union. From 2022, metal imported into Europe will require ethical, societal and environmental production standards. And a recent report from German media has pointed to surprisingly optimistic scenario for Tesla and its vehicle manufacture goal for Europe. According to the sources who reportedly are familiar with the electric car maker's plan, Gigafactory Berlin could produce up to 2 million vehicles per year. That is twice the output of Volkswagen's Wolfsburg plant, one of the largest automotive production facilities in the industry. Can't wait to see this factory in action. And Elon Musk also confirms at the earnings call that the next Gigafactory in the US will be in Texas. And the land that they got in Texas is even bigger than the land in Berlin, so maybe this factory will also be even bigger. And the construction has already begun. So right now Tesla is building 3 Gigafactories at the same time. Amazing, and a glimpse of what to expect in the future from Tesla. They will not just build one factory at a time. And the Gigafactory Tesla near Austin will produce the Cybertruck, Model Y and the semi-truck, which will start production next year. The semi-truck will probably start with assembly in Fremont factory, and battery and powertrain will be produced in Nevada, and then moving most of it to Giga Texas when it's up and running. And Tesla also announced that Tesla Insurers could roll out to a handful of other states at the end of the year. Just so much good news and exciting times ahead for Tesla. So it's all looking good for Tesla, and venture capitalist explains how Tesla critics missed the big picture on Tesla, and now it is no longer about the cars.
I think this is a really important example of a much bigger trend that's happening in the stock market, which is that retail investors now have access to so much information that it's almost on parity with people that work in traditional investment organizations. And what we've seen is that's happened is that the quality of that analysis and the ability to see around the corner is as good, and in many cases better, than traditional investment firms and the way they view the problem. So from day one, you have had this massive tension between the bulls and the bears on this company. And the bulls basically saw a long-term trend around electrification, and the bears tried to play with balance sheet mathematics. Of course, if I said, you can sell 90,000 cars, but then if you negative sell 100,000, you've not sold 10,000. And you would say, what does any of this mean? You can use any convoluted logic to try to be short this stock, and what you would have done is just lost an enormous amount of money. And so what we're going to see now is that the stock is going to become part of the S&P 500. It is the leading edge when it comes to electrification and decarbonization. And here's the thing, Andrew, what the bulls will get right and what the bears will ignore from here is that this is no longer about cars. That's the first wave of growth. And I think people are pricing in an evisceration of traditional autos and an enormous shift to EVs, of which Tesla will get the disproportionate share.
Well, this is a car company. Jim Chanos says it's a car company. Moving on. Tesla is going to install 800 megawatt hour of mega packs batteries in a Nevada project. Tesla Energy, together with infrastructure firm Switch and asset management firm Capital Dynamics, is involved in a massive sustainable energy project that is poised to become one of the largest solar and battery installations in the world. The initiative, dubbed as the Gigawatt 1 project, is expected to generate 555 megawatt of solar power and create 800 megawatt hour of battery storage for Nevada. Yes, this battery business is taking off all over the world. Another big battery plant that is already up and running is the Hornstein power plant in South Australia. That recently set a new world record by delivering 150 megawatt of power to the region's grid. The recently upgraded battery was able to accomplish this feat despite the installation still undergoing complex tests following the expansion from 100 megawatt to 150 megawatt system. The brief display of power from the upgraded Tesla Power Pack farm during its ongoing test is almost symbolic, as the facility showed that it does have the potential to disrupt the region's energy sector even further. Even before its 50% upgrade, the Hornstein power plant has already made a huge impact in the region by improving grid stability and security, preventing outage and lowering costs for consumers. Even Neon, which owns the facility, has benefited from the power pack's farm operation. Just this June, a report stated that the Tesla Big Battery had reduced the cost in South Australia's main grid by 116 million Australian dollars through contingency and regulation frequency control ancillary service (FCAS). Large due to the battery, average FCAS cost in the region was reduced by, hold on, 90%, from 470 Australian dollars per megawatt hour to just 40 Australian dollars per megawatt hour. This dealt a big blow to the region's gas cartel and a new greener way for Australians to get their very high electricity bill down. Yes, I think Tesla's energy business will be profitable from here on out. And here in Europe, green energy beats the fossil fuel for the first time ever. Green energy, which includes wind, solar, hydro, bioenergy, has generated 40% of European Union's electricity for the first time in 2020, compared to fossil fuels generating 34%, independent think tank Ember said in a half-yearly report. So cool, renewable energy is just getting bigger and bigger. Tesla's secret product Palladium hints new Model S and X is coming. Not much is known about the project, so it is all based on leaks and rumors, but maybe the new Model S and X Plaid version will have some kind of new body type. When Tesla started testing early prototype of the Model S Plaid, it did feature some body modification, but it hasn't been clear whether Tesla plans to bring them to the production version. But there are definitely a lot of new stuff going on with the upcoming new Plaid/Palladium version of the Model S and X. Going to be exciting to see what Tesla will bring to life. People often ask, what do you do if you run out of power with your EV? You can't just go pick up a gallon of electricity. But NIO in China has made a solution for this problem. NIO has a mobility charging fleet open to other vehicles as well, including Tesla. This app-based service is accessible in major cities in China. That is a very cool idea, and hopefully this will spread to the rest of the world. We also learned that the battery pack of the Model 3 and Model Y will soon be universal. I kind of thought they already were, but I guess I was wrong. But they will now streamline the battery packs for these two vehicles. That will definitely speed up the process and make the battery pack even cheaper. And some good news about the Rivian pickup truck. Rivian has revealed delivery dates for its R1T pickup truck and the R1S sports utility vehicle. Both of its all-electric vehicle will debut in summer 2021, but the R1T truck will make its way to the customer before the R1S SUV will. The R1T will start, as we know, at $69,000. Going to be exciting to see how well this truck will sell. And GM talks about a 400-mile EV pickup truck. Last week, General Motors released its sustainability report. Buried within the nearly 200 pages, the company offered some new info about its electric vehicle plans. Globally, the General will have 20 electric models available to customers by 2023. Many of them aimed to the Chinese market, but at least 12 will be sold in America as well. The biggest surprise in the report is news of a full-size pickup truck from Chevrolet that reportedly have a range of 400 miles. No further details are available, which leaves open the question whether it will be the Silverado clone or something completely different. Surely the segment-smashing Tesla Cybertruck has got people in the highest level of GM, Ford and Dodge scratching their heads. There's no timeline specified, but by 2023 we should know how GM and the rest of the industry plans to respond to the Cybertruck, and if they're going to be able to deliver a truck with 400 miles of range, and of course what the price of such a truck will be. But very nice to see GM trying to push their EVs forward. And some news about Volkswagen's highly anticipated ID.3, because Volkswagen opens up mass market orders for its ID.3 this week in Europe. So now the time has come to see how many ID.3 Volkswagen can make and sell in Europe. If this does not become one of the best-selling EVs in Europe, Volkswagen is in big trouble. This is the best attempt from them to compete with the Tesla Model 3 that is dominating the EV market all over the world, including most of Europe. So we are crossing our fingers for Volkswagen, and very soon we will know. And SpaceX makes another successful launch and landing. Yes, SpaceX made another successful launch and landing of their Falcon 9 rocket on behalf of its client, South Korea. The payload was a dedicated military communication satellite, South Korea's first, which the nation will use to help safeguard its national security. And SpaceX also caught both fairings in their nets. Very impressive. And the Falcon 9 rocket used was the same Falcon 9 first stage that previously launched the Crew Dragon to the International Space Station with NASA's astronaut Bob and Doug on board. Speaking of Bob and Doug, while in orbit they are performing habitability assessment of the SpaceX Crew Dragon. This includes opening and closing the hatch, operating the vast system, moving cargo back into the vehicle, making sure everything is in order for their descent only 1 week from now. After the successful debut of the Crew Dragon, SpaceX is preparing to launch 4 astronauts in September, according to the press release by NASA. The next mission is referred to as Crew 1, will deploy 3 NASA astronauts and 1 JAXA astronaut, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. Crew 1 astronaut will stay at the orbit lab for around 6 months conducting scientific experiments. And Elon also tweeted about the Starship prototype SN5 will attempt fly later this week. Ooh. And SpaceX also submitted a request with the FCC to track and transmit communication during a Starship test flight of 20 kilometers above Boca Chica within the next 7 months, between August and February. Wow, we're getting close to some seriously cool test flight from SpaceX. And a little bit of boring news. Elon did also tease us with one of the render pictures of the Boring Company's future stations, saying coming soon. What soon means we have to wait and see, but I'm just so excited about this project, which will change the world transportation system when it becomes reality. Then every big city around the world will want one when they see all the benefits. And we also got a look inside the mystery box that was left at Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai. It was a Tesla Model 3 that was part of a big commercial from the Game of Peace, one of Chinese most popular game with over 400 million users, that now features Teslas in the game. Great PR for Tesla, and especially for the young people that are going to buy their first EV within the next 10 years. And Tesla Model 3 continues to dominate. Plug-in electric vehicle sales in Iceland have grown by more than half this year, thanks to the high popularity of Tesla. The Tesla Model 3 became the best-selling car of all vehicles sold in the country for the first half of 2020. Wow, congratulations Tesla. And if you want to see what disruption looked like, take a look at this model of mid-size luxury sedan models from January 2018 until now in the US. That's disruption right there. And let's end off with a bit of Tesla fun. Jamie Foxx tries out a Tesla and gets the Tesla smile.
0 to 60. Oh, shit! Yo! We was on that Camara's ass!
Check out the whole video of Jamie Foxx riding his Tesla on Jamie Foxx's YouTube channel. That's all we have time for in this news episode, but before you go, remember to hit that like button. It really helps out this video a lot so others can find it here on YouTube. And if you don't want to wait till every Sunday to get the news, remember you can follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news in there as it comes out and much more. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. I come out with news episodes like this every Sunday and other videos all the time about Tesla, Elon Musk and everything in between. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. If you want to support me even more, you can for as little as $1 become a patron of this show and get your shout out here on this channel. And the names you see floating by right now is my amazing Patreon producers of this show. Thank you so much, guys. You can head over to patreon.com/BestInTESLA and check out all the perks over there and get your name on the list. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.